Hello and welcome to Towards a Better India. Now, with regard to the recent ruling by the administration, wherein they've kind of made it very clear that any foreigner coming into the country essentially needs to register with the Bureau of Immigration in India, and the responsibility per se is not really that of the foreigner, but of whichever establishment where that foreigner is staying. So, for example, if it's a hotel, if it's a guest house, if it's a furnished apartment, or even if it's a private residence, say including say a foreigner staying at my own house, that I need to make sure that the requisite details are there with the Bureau of Immigration on its website. So essentially I don't need to run around anywhere. I just need to go onto that website and put in the relevant details like visa number, when that foreigners actually come into the country, and those specific details which they've specified. Now, with regard to that, I just feel that whatever the end objective of the Bureau of Immigration or of the Indian administration as a whole, I don't think that will be achieved, because I as we all can pretty much kind of figure out, the aim is essentially to kind of keep a tab on illegal immigration. But now the question is that when it comes to illegal immigration in India, a large part of it is either alleged to be or is actually a result of vote bank politics, wherein you have these foreigners who are kind of let into the country, allowed into the country on the basis or on the premise that they will actually vote for a particular party. Now, that being the case, I feel that these people who are already a part of this entire vote bank and they're being allowed into the country specifically for that, they will not be trouble, and they are typically individuals who do not stay in guest houses, do not stay in any furnished apartments. They of course stay by themselves, and a lot of them lead really simple lives in India. No Indian is often involved in their accommodation, because a lot of these illegal immigrants are already there, and they in turn facilitate other illegal immigrants from coming into the country and kind of settling down. Now, a very important aspect in this regard is the fact that genuine tourists will be adversely affected, and it's quite likely that tourists, after being harassed so much in so many different ways, at every step, if this person has to kind of ensure that this kind of registration is happening, and even if it's, say, the not the foreigner himself or herself, but wherever that person is staying, that person, that organization's responsibility to ensure that the registration happens, I still feel somewhere a foreigner will always feel that this is some sort of like a demarcation, some sort of like you can say it's a discrimination which is done against that particular foreigner. And that being the case, I really feel genuine tourists, genuine tourism in this country will be affected. So therefore I would urge the administration to kind of think twice, think again about this move. Probably it does not make much sense, especially in the light of your overall objective of trying to curb, illegal immigration. I feel that the political parties will probably, not really encourage this kind of registration, and those illegal immigrants themselves will probably not end up registering anyway. And at the same time, genuine tourists will be bothered to such an extent that quite likely those same tourists will not come back, and they will probably give out negative feedback to the extent that a lot of other potential tourists will not be back to India. So I think this is a regressive step, and this is something which the administration and the concerned entities do need to have a rethink about. Cheers.